Hey, Jeffrey Byard, your host, Healing Shame. And let's go ahead and put the reading on your screen, June 4th, and here we go. June 4th, balance. We can connect with a power greater than ourselves and find balance. From the Big Red Book, page 306. As we practice our recovery program, we come to know balance. We start to learn what we can or can't handle, when to rest, and when we can move ahead. As we search for a pace that works best for us, our ups and downs are no longer so wild and out of control. Easy does it is now our recovery mantra. If we get impatient at times, we recognize that it may take time for us to be ready to make certain changes. We learn acceptance. Although it's important to keep challenging ourselves, we cannot force ourselves to recover faster. Some issues are deeper than others. We look to a power greater than ourselves to find the patience to accept however long it takes to get there. Whether we are slower or faster, it is our reality, and that can change over time. If the nervous person next to us seems to want to race to the finish line, we affirm our resolve to move at a healthy pace. And here's our little mantra. On this day, I practice gentleness and acceptance as a way of finding a balanced recovery. I acknowledge that the pace at which I recovery is what's right for me at this moment. That is copyright 2013, Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families, World Service Organization, from our text, Strengthening My Recovery. Yeah, balance, crucial, crucial. I can speak from my own experience today. I recognize I'm an introvert. I cannot go out into public for prolonged periods of time without getting drained. I am essentially, as soon as I leave the apartment, I've unplugged myself from the charger and I'm running on battery. And when I get out there too long, I'm at 3%, I'm on overload, I'm about to run out and be drained entirely. So I've got to get back to my safe place. I've got to plug back in, I've got to recharge my introvert battery, and that's just how it is. Some of that can be worked on and compromised, but that's just who I am. And it is really is about acceptance. I have to recognize my limitations. The reading the other day was about humility, and humility is about accepting who and what we are, with the willingness to move towards what we can become, our real potential. And so, limitations, knowing what my limitations are, is a real big part of humility. Pretty important. So, um, yeah, I can get impatient, and then I have to recognize that it may take time for me to be ready to make certain changes. That's what it says in the reading. I get really impatient with myself that I'm not completely healed overnight, or I want 10 years sobriety in like 6 months or a year, a couple of years. And in reality, I've got to take the time and go through that pain. There's no way around it. I just have to go through the pain. I've got to feel the feelings, and I've got to get to that place on the other side. And boy, it's tricky. But gosh, you know, this stuff didn't happen overnight, guys. I didn't get sick overnight. It took decades for me to become really, really sick. It took all the exposure of the warped, sick, and twisted upbringing that I went through, and all the shame, and all the violence, and all the rage, and the hate, and the anxiety coming from both biological instruments, both parents, and then from other family members, from people at school, from society itself, from the dysfunctional culture I grew up in. And it really took a long time to program me the way I am now, to place the buttons there and all the little trigger points, the explosive ports and whatnot, the little trigger spots, pressure points. Took a while to put those in place and lay me out, program me to become that ticking time bomb. And now I can't expect for that to be undone in a few 24 hours sober, away from whatever it might be, whatever my whatever's really triggering me and keeping me in the sickness. So in this program, what I'm really trying to do is restore that self-love. I have a self-love deficit. And so I have a core of toxic shame. And that's why this series is about toxic shame. If the goal of this program is to restore self-love, which it is, that's the goal of the program. That's what the book tells me. If the goal of the program is to get me to have self-love back in there, um, if I have a love deficit, then that means I've got a core of toxic shame, and I do, and I know I do, and that comes from the unhealthy abandonment style, and it's just this whole scheme all the way up to the top, the peak of that pyramid. So at the base is this core shame, and I have to heal that in order for me to function in society as a normal uh, human being or a regular member of society. So recovery is not a race. It's not a destination. It's a journey. Easy does it. First things first, but do it. And it's progress, not perfection. All I can do is the best I can do today, and that's all I have to do. That's a passing grade, if you will. That's a passing grade in recovery talk and recovery in the recovery world. So that's all I have today, and good to be here with you. Until next time, all the best.